Hey yo, what is happening guys? This is H8 coming at you with another video, and today I just want to talk about Final Fantasy VIII. Now, Final Fantasy VIII, I don't know what to talk about this game because Square Enix has put out Final Fantasy 12, Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 9, all towards the Switch, as well as some other Final Fantasy titles. So, as you can see right here, that Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 9, and both Final Fantasy 10/10-2 HD Remaster will be coming to the Nintendo Switch. Now, I'm actually excited for those who do have a Switch and they can play Final Fantasy on the go, which I'm really excited for. I don't own a Switch, like I said, I just have a PlayStation 4, but you know what, I'm happy that they are bringing these great games to the Nintendo Switch, as well as the Xbox One, so that's really cool stuff because all PlayStation owners actually had this game, so now both Nintendo Switch users as well as Xbox gamers can also play these amazing games, and it's amazing. But I just have to talk about Final Fantasy VIII. Now, Final Fantasy VIII is a game that has not been given that much of praise, and recently there's no HD remaster, there's no remaster of it, there's basically we only have that PSP/PS3 remaster. I guess you could consider that one of the remasters that we got off it. I do know that a lot of people want it on the PlayStation 4. I personally also want it on the PS4, and this isn't a rant video. I'm just saying that there's a possibility that something big is happening for Final Fantasy VIII. Now, we did speak about this in my Final Fantasy VIII remake or remaster video. If you guys didn't check that out, link in the description. This is a video where I spoke about if we will get a remaster or a remake, but you see, with what I'm seeing from Final Fantasy now, they skipped 6, they skipped 8, they skipped 11, but 11 I guess you can say that's fine, that's an MMO. 13 was on the PS3, so it doesn't actually need a HD remaster. But basically, they did not remaster Final Fantasy 1 through 6 for the PlayStation 4. They did not remaster Final Fantasy 8. They did not remaster Final Fantasy. Actually, from then on, it's the last thing, like, because Final Fantasy 9, 10, all of that is actually remastered for the PS4, and Final Fantasy 11 is not remastered. So, honestly, I think that it is a thing of whether or not they will be showing something huge, because I think that Final Fantasy and Square Enix, knowing Square Enix, they will make a awesome collection, most likely with all the Final Fantasy games in one, and that may just include the numbered titles. But I just want to see 8 in a remaster, I mean, or a remake, but that's more unlikely. I mean, we do get PC ports that we can always put an HD mod for it, a realistic mod for it, but I do also want to play it on the PS4 because we do know that Final Fantasy 8 as well as Final Fantasy 7 and Final Fantasy 9, they were PlayStation 1 Final Fantasies, and I just want to see them, you know, return back to the next gen, well, current gen, I guess you could call it now. But I want to see them come back to the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Well, come back to the PlayStation 4 and then go to Xbox and Switch. I'm not too sure how it's gonna market, but I just want to see Squall in 1080p, not on a laptop but on a PS4 console. Yes, I do own a PC, but I mainly played it for my PSP games like Crisis Core and the other Dissidia games I used to play, as well as the Type 0 that was meant for the PSP version only. But we also have the Steam version. But let's talk about a game that we can actually kind of relate the Final Fantasy VIII perspective to, and that's The Last Remnant. So originally released in 2008 for Xbox 360 and 2009 in PC, The Last Remnant ended up being a console exclusive for Microsoft. A PlayStation 3 version of the game was announced and in the works, but the game's director Hiroshi Taki cited development struggles with the PlayStation 3 hardware and projected was eventually scrapped. The title ended up becoming a pretty popular JRPG And you know what? It's actually going to come out later this year within December. And actually on Steam, they're going to take out the original Last Remnant for the remaster. So maybe they'll do that for the Final Fantasy VIII. I mean, just look at Final Fantasy VIII. It was the 7th best-selling PlayStation game of all time with 7 million sales, which is insane. The PlayStation, PlayStation 3, Microsoft Windows, all of that good stuff, and it was released on Steam. So there is that. But also, let's not hope for anything this year. It is most likely next year we will get something to do with the Final Fantasy VIII, because Final Fantasy VIII was released in 1999. So next year will be the big 2-0. Yes, the 20th anniversary for Final Fantasy VIII next year. And to actually think that last year was the 30th anniversary, it's kind of insane to think about this. But I really think that Final Fantasy VIII should get something not too much like a drink or like wine with the Final Fantasy VIII characters' names on it. But I think that there is a really likely chance that Final Fantasy VIII will be remastered to the PlayStation 4 as well as to the Nintendo Switch and the Microsoft Windows as well as Xbox One. And I honestly just want to see Final Fantasy VIII get some love just like the other Final Fantasy titles. Now I know a lot of people are saying that Final Fantasy 1 all the way to 6 are on iOS and Android. Yes, they are, but I also want to see them on the PlayStation 4 as well as Final Fantasy 8. Now I really do want to point out that actually emulating games to a phone does not count, as it was a iOS type of release, iOS or Android release. At least in my eyes, I don't see it as a reason to call it an Android release if you're just emulating it. So I don't count that as a remaster for Android. But however, guys, let me know in the comment section down below, which Final Fantasy do you think will be remastered next? Do you think it'll be 1 through 6, one of those? Do you think it'll be Final Fantasy 13, which is very unlikely? Do you think Final Fantasy 11 will come to the PlayStation 4? Do you think that Final Fantasy 8 will get its time to shine? Let me know in the comment section down below. Please leave a like, helps me a lot. Comment down in the comment section down below. Share with friends, and most importantly, subscribe to become a fellow Lightning Bolt. Anyway, guys, that is it for this video. And as always, this is the Lightning Age 8. Blaze out.